Hi, caregivers. Welcome. My name is Valerie Geschwind, and I'm a staff developer at Teachers College Reading and Writing Project. I'm here today because friends and family have been asking me a question lately that I thought I might answer for all of you. A lot of them have been asking me, how can I set up rituals at home that foster a love of reading with my child? I know a lot of them are feeling like lately their children have been a little bit more reluctant to read and haven't quite been finding the same joy that they had once been finding in reading. And that can happen, but there are some rituals that you can set up in your home to help children re-engage and fall back in love with reading again. The first one is read to your child. Maybe some of you have this ritual already where you read a book or part of a book at bedtime or first thing in the morning. But reading to your child, even if it's for 5 minutes a day, is one of the greatest gifts that you can give to your child, for them to hear you read with expression, to hear how you love books and enjoy reading books and can't wait to see what happens next in a story, for you to get excited over the new information you're learning or to linger over reading a poem. All of those things are going to be so important as you're helping your children see, wow, reading is something beautiful and exciting. So that is the first thing that you can do to help your child fall in love with reading as much as you might love reading. The next ritual that you might set up in your home is you might have some side-by-side reading time in your day. So what side-by-side reading might look like is you choose some reading materials. Maybe you're reading the newspaper or a cookbook, and your child chooses some reading materials. Maybe they're reading a comic book or their books from school or a picture book. And you just sit next to each other and read. Again, this doesn't have to be for a really long stretch of time. But what this will do for your child is they'll get to see that reading is something that happens in your home, that it's something that's valued and important. And they'll also have you then as a model to look to as somebody who is really invested in reading and makes it a priority. And so again, it doesn't have to be for 30 minutes. Maybe it's 5 minutes a day or 10 minutes a day where you sit together and both do your own reading. But then maybe even at the end, you get to tell each other a little bit about the things that you read when you were sitting side by side. A third ritual that you might set up is you might make it a habit to be reading the world around you. So that might be reading across your home. You could be, if you're in the kitchen, maybe you're reading a cereal box or you're reading this salt container. Maybe in your bathroom, you're reading the Band-Aid box or the toothpaste. Whatever it is, noticing that there's words and language all around you that can be read is something that you can always take on. Maybe you pick one item a day to try and read together. You could also be taking on reading the world when you leave your home, when you're walking down the street or driving in a car. You could see how many signs can we read, what language and what words can we notice. And that could be another way that we're showing our children that reading isn't just in a book. We can read the things that are all around us all the time. A fourth ritual that you might take on as you're working to foster a love of reading is maybe each week your child gets to think of a favored friend, relative, family member, someone that they might want to read a book to. And what you could do is you could choose a book at the beginning of the week, and maybe they even get a little countdown calendar like this one. And then all across the week, your child could be practicing knowing that they're going to have this audience at the end of the week to read to. And knowing that you get to share your reading with someone you love gives purpose to reading and rereading and practicing. And it's one way that really might encourage your child to take on some of that reading. And then when celebration days comes, they could Zoom, have a phone call, you could video them reading and send it to that person as a celebration of the reading they did across the week, to be able to give the gift of reading to someone special. A fifth and last tip, if you're looking to help your child re-engage with books, if they're having trouble, or if you're just looking for fun ways to handle the books in your home, is to let your child organize, play, think about their books other than when they're just opening them to read the words. So it might be that your child might look through bookshelves and pick books to recommend to other people. So maybe they're making a little stack of books that are like, these ones I know my brother would love. Maybe they're making a stack of books that are like, these are my favorites. Maybe they look through and they pull out all the books that they're hoping you'll read to them that week. And you can have a little stack ready to go. So when you do 5 minutes of bedtime reading or over lunch reading or morning reading, they've chosen some of the books that they really are hoping that you'll read to them. Maybe they're even looking through their bookshelves and organizing them a little bit. Like maybe they put all the books with animals in one section and all the books with friends in another section. So this kind of handling, playing, considering, sorting, thinking about books is a way of getting kids excited to see the books, to touch them, to handle them, and to get them to be with books without feeling that pressure to open them up and have to read every word. So caregivers, family members, I know that right now time is precious, but I hope that this has given you a few quick ways to help your child fall in love with reading. And I'll see you again soon. Thank you for all you do.